And now we have breaking news about Nebraska. And the killer part is I just got to wrap with him just a couple of days ago. And Matt Rhule, Nebraska signing Matt Rhule to an 8-year deal.
I
Who
saw.
knows how many centuries of football is he going to have to advance Nebraska forward to get into this deal? But heck, you're talking about the great former Nebraska teams recruited well from Texas. They recruited well from California. Obviously, they competed in the Midwest. Matt Rhule now, some investment. I don't have the dollar figure yet. Trevor will know. But an 8-year commitment, it's not for $20 an hour.
Yep.
Nebraska finally stepping in there, going and finding themselves a real offensive visionary and a general. Look what he did. 2 10-win seasons at Temple, then goes down and flips a Baylor team that was on its back to winning a Big 12 championship before he goes up to the NFL. Now he's back in college football, refreshed. I'm sure he's looking forward to being back on a campus, and it's Nebraska. They sell out. With all these losing seasons. That is the pro team in the state of Nebraska. What are your main thoughts there, Hack, on Matt Rhule and Nebraska's chance to make such a splash on that?
Yeah, no, I have a ton of respect for Rhule. He's a Penn Stater. Actually grew up in State College. I think his his mentality really fits well, and I think it's partially that experience. I think the Penn State Nebraska type of mentality is something that travels, and I think that's a program that needs a little bit of that retro reminder of who they were and what they need to be from a core foundational standpoint in terms of what are the pillars you're going to build your program on. Are you going to be tough? Are you going to be physical? What are you going to be? And I think Rhule's going to bring the right things in to Nebraska to get them headed on the right track. I think it's been a program that really since Bo Pelini has been in turmoil with that and identity of who they are at its core. I think the success that he had at Baylor is going to be really big for him and from a recruiting standpoint in terms of having ties to the Midwest, Texas, Oklahoma, like that whole Southeast, South, Mid-South region. I think that's going to be big. Going to have to obviously venture out to California, like you said. But to me, I think he's like you said, refreshed, going to have a really good mindset coming into it. And he's going to have the plan, right? He's going to have the big picture plan and the foundation built. And I think he's tooled enough and he has had enough experiences of building programs the right way to go get the right pieces. And now he has the portal that he can play with. He's going to definitely put a great staff together. And I just think that it was a hell of a home run hire. I didn't think that Nebraska was going to be able to pull somebody like that there with everything that was going on. They did it. And I think he's going to do a damn good job as long as they give him time, let him settle in, let him figure things out, get the right pieces there. I think it's really a great fit mentality wise. And I think that that's even bigger than sometimes X's and O's and all the other bullshit that comes into football. It's a great fit from a core foundational principle standpoint. And I think that could make that team pretty dangerous out there in however long the West is. I think that team could be dangerous here in the next 5 years.
Felder, the Big Ten, as of last year, had no coaching changes. They had no coaching changes. Brett Bielema came in late at Illinois, and then Coach Frost got fired. Well, it feels like as soon as they got back from Ireland. I know he made a few more games after that. but the rich keep getting richer. They have rock star coaches all across the land there, and even some lesser knowns. When you talk about Coach Braum and his staff, Coach Fitzgerald and their staff, they've been to 2 Big Ten championships at Northwestern. Everything now that they're doing at Illinois under new management, the Fighting Trevor Valises, it's a new ball game, and now Nebraska turns the lights on. And they decide to go get themselves a commander-in-chief in Matt Rhule. You get 2 10-win seasons at Temple, and you do everything you did down at Baylor. This might be the highest floor he's ever had a chance to start out on in his college tenure. And you've seen what he's been able to do with these other retool programs. Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do at Nebraska, but it's still Nebraska.
Is Nebraska still Nebraska?
Well,
It's a good question.
look at I say that because look at the Trojans. The Trojans have been out in the wilderness for the last 10 years.
That's not the same. You think that USC is the same as Nebraska?
Well, I think everything is relative, but with the right leadership, and obviously they're well supported at Nebraska.
Sure.
No, it's a different animal. USC is kind of the Ferrari that needed a few things, but Nebraska, first he's got to get that horse and wagon and horse and buggy shit out of there first. Then he's going to have to clear out all the stalls. I would just burn it and start building your hangar, get some of that new weaponry, start doing some of that new age stuff.
He can do it faster than ever.
He can do it faster.
He can do it faster than ever.
Portal now. What Hack was saying.
Well, I was going to ask, what about Wisconsin?
What about Wisconsin?
Well, I think Jim Leonard. I think they got their guy. I think
Sure.
they got Jim Leonard. They could go flirt if they wanted to.
No, it's not about. I'm not talking who hires. Like, who can go to scale? Who can scale faster?
Oh, honestly, the portal is your ultimate game changer.
Right.
Lincoln Riley and his pro personnel staff,
Mel Tucker,
guys.
Mel Tucker did it at Michigan State a year ago,
Wake
right?
Forest running back. What's my guy's name? Was Seahawks. Kenneth Walker. What free agency has changed everything? It's changed everything. You can be way out there at the edge of the world, and then you can be running the world within 3, 4, 5, 6. USC signed 40 plus guys.
Hack, how old are you?
27.
27. How good was Nebraska when you were growing up?
I mean, when I was really little, they were good.
And then, right. And at least Wisconsin's been good since then.
Yeah, true.
I agree with you. I think Wisconsin has the benefit of more recent success. If you're talking about trying to touch kids that are recruiting, that say,
right.
Unless you're really like a college football savant, and you have people around you who talk about college football and you nerd out about this shit. You go to the average kid's doorstep, they're not going to go, oh shit, Nebraska. Like me, I'd go, oh shit, Nebraska, because of the respect that I have for what Nebraska was, right?
But you played with kids. You had kids on your team. You had contributors on your college football team who were like, Nebraska was good. Where is Nebraska?
Right. 100%. 100%. But the point is what I'm saying is I think Rhule is more of a dynamic. He's the right person to do it. He's the right person to do it, right? I said this from the beginning.
Him.
The Nebraska hire had to be a home run. If they didn't hit a home run here, and if they try to push this guy out too fast, they are done.
Bingo.
They're in the dark ages. They're in the stall. They're trying to figure out what electricity is again.
Yes.
They're trying to figure everything out.
But remember, here's that new game changer. The portal.
Correct.
And I agree with you. I don't know
if Rhule can hit that.
If John Deere really based up there or not. Get John Deere to get you a couple little NIL dollars. Warren Buffett sitting up there. You got a couple little seed companies and some cattle farming stuff. You can get some things going on up there in Nebraska to get some guys going.
And the big thing is they got playing time to offer right now.
Oh yeah,
and that's the big thing.
That's the biggest part of it.
If you're going into the portal, right? If you're going to say the portal is going to be my thing, you need to be prepared to say nobody is safe. Nobody is safe.
Correct.
There's not one safe part in my roster. Whoever wants to come here, you can play tomorrow. That's how Rhule's going to do it.
Snapper.
That's
down to the long snapper and the water boy.
That's what, and that's Matt Rhule's going to have to do that. But that's exactly what Lincoln Riley did.
Right.
He said, "Hey, listen, every job is up for grabs. Come and get it."
But it's going to start with that quarterback, and that's the big reason why USC was able to hit the ground and roll. Coach Sonny Dykes had a guy there, didn't quite think he was going to be the guy, and he winds up rolling back in. Now he's going to roll his way right to New York and hopefully on into the playoffs with Max Duggan. Hopefully you guys roll with us next week. Conference championships will get settled and solidified. We'll be here with you on behalf of Christian Hackenberg,